I want to give a brief accounting of some things while I still have the chance. I'm going to be murdered by agents of the World Economic Forum posing as parts of the United States government, and of course they have been for decades, longer than I've been alive. But I've been targeted since the 90s, blacklisted from many things because I'm white, because I refuse to give up my manliness, I guess. I don't know. I hate even using that word anymore. Because I'm too Christian, because I'm too gun owner, because I'm generally just too American. And I have to be suppressed and beaten down and held back and everything all the time. I mean, it started, hell, even in high school, when I wanted to get into science type stuff. I was always interested in space and other things relating to physics, but all those kind of so-called programs are run by the government, and you will gleefully partake in their grifting and fake science and fake research, which is just a giant money pit of endless bullshit, or you won't be allowed in. So I've always been excluded from the things I would have been good for. But I've also been very outspoken since I was 9 years old about how this country doesn't resemble anything that I read about in history. I studied the founders and everything they ever wrote. I've probably forgotten more than most people have read on those topics. And when I was 10, I was Patrick Henry for Halloween. But I backed the wrong horse. I thought my fellow Americans were going to have my back, but they never did. They always betrayed me. They always took their 30 pieces of silver to help the very fancy-looking traitors to our country. Let's not pretend. The FBI is not the FBI. They work for the World Economic Forum. The same thing goes for the CIA, the IRS, the FDA. None of these organizations are actually parts of the United States government. That's just a front. That's what they do to try to maintain a false illusion of legitimacy. They all serve the World Economic Forum. They always have, and they're never going to stop. They used to target me in the early 2000s with trying to send me child porn, endless messages from 15, 14, 13-year-old kids on social media, or just straight to my email. I don't even know how they get it. It's like, oh gee, I'm getting all these messages I don't want, with attachments, pictures I don't want. They never managed to pin any of that on me. Then they started going worse. They started accusing me of raping people that I've never met in states I've never been. Then they started planting crap under the seats of my car when I would go shopping somewhere. They even got bold enough to come onto the property where I was living and stick baggies of weed and powdery stuff and empty beer cans. And then you just see them sitting there waiting for me to leave. So they weren't even good at it. Then, more recently, from about 2017 onwards, there's been 2 accelerations in the attacks. I made some reasonable investments in cryptocurrency, and when I tried to cash things out, they started accusing me of laundering money for terrorists, and child sex trafficking, and being a drug dealer, and all kinds of shit that, of course, there was no evidence for, because I've never done any of these things. But we're dealing with the 4th branch of government here, regulators. They can make up any lie they want, simply make the accusations, and you are now suspected. And that's all that matters. And they've been doing that to me since 2017. Then a little bit further along in 2019, end of 2019 into 2020, like right before all the bullshit really started to happen with the lies about the common cold, that's when they started attacking me with cyber attacks. It got really fucking bad, and I lost quite a lot due to what they did to me. I lost some things that belonged to other people, and then I had to I had to pay out of my, wallet, I guess, out of my own pocket to cover that, with some thin, almost pointless hope of trying to recover some of what they had sabotaged. I'm not going to get into super deep details on all that, because most people don't really understand cryptocurrency very well. They're just fanboys. I've been involved with it since 2009. But now, I caught wind of a subpoena that I wasn't supposed to see being organized by several agencies at once, planning to attack me. And I would have rather just left. I just wanted to be left alone. I wanted to renounce my citizenship, take what little of America still exists within me, and go somewhere else, maybe find some fertile soil. Like the opposite of Captain Ahab. If my heart were a seed, I would cut it out and plant it. But there is no fertile soil. These evil pieces of shit have taken over the whole fucking world. And I'm so pissed because I'm surrounded by these cowards who never fight, no matter how obvious it gets that the government is the enemy. They have betrayed us all, and they are not the government they claim to be. All this corruption in the United States government is because it's not the United States government. These people are traitors working for the World Economic Forum. They're destroying our country from within. This is not our government. This is not official. This is not legitimate. None of this is legitimate. They're all fucking traitors, forcing us to finance our own destruction. Cops letting criminals run wild whenever they just want to extort a little more cash. Hey, maybe if we had a little more funding, maybe we could stop these riots, huh? Like there isn't fucking enough cops everywhere already. We see it everywhere we go. But people are just so... I don't know, you're so docile now. That's one of the reasons they always go after me first. Because my balls are still attached. A man that still has his balls attached, we gotta get rid of that. It stands out like a sore thumb. We gotta get him. And that's why they always attack people like me first. Before it becomes widely known. Oh, I've never heard of that. I guess that guy must be crazy or something. And then, 5, 10, 15 years later, they're doing it to everyone. I was banned from Facebook over a decade ago. I told you what they were doing, how they were censoring, but you didn't want to believe me. Now look what the situation is. I told you that these fucking companies are not legitimate. They're just fronts for the fucking government to persecute and manipulate. But you wouldn't listen to me. And I told you it was dumb to just hand over all your power to platforms instead of having your own damn website using an RSS feed and email. That way no one could control it. You had your own voice. No one could censor you. I took it to an even further step. My terrible looking website that I've built is actually hosted right here at home. And the IP address you see when you do a who is on it is actually just a VPS that I use as a router, and it bounces back here. There's nothing on that server. You couldn't break into it because there's nothing there. But anyways, I digress. I kept counting on my fellow man to get their heads out of their asses, but they would not do it. And I backed the wrong horse, so now I'm a dead man. Because the only path forward is through, and, I'm going to be standing alone all by myself. I'm going to be written off, slandered, lied about. And I've been fighting this shit my whole fucking life, and everyone I've ever known has stabbed me in the back. My so-called loving wife that betrayed me. My stepdad, my entire family. Everyone. Absolute fucking scumbags who took their 30 pieces of silver. And it's not even about me. It's about the fact that these people flushed America down the toilet. They had every opportunity to stop it. And I was telling them every opportunity to stop it, and instead of doing so, they just called me crazy because they wanted to sit around getting fatter and lazier. Watching the sports ball, eating the Big Macs. Anyway. I eventually got caught in a trap, and I managed to avoid so many things. There was even one time the ATF came out and planted a defective HK full auto fire control group out here, and I actually caught him on a game cam. I mean, it was like really, you couldn't really make out anything in it. It was just like, hey, that's weird. Why is there a person there? Just out of curiosity, I went out and looked where they were, and The earth was disturbed. I dug a little hole and I found it. They've been doing this shit to me almost my entire life. And no one ever believed it, and they probably never will. I don't fucking care anymore. It's not that I don't care, I can't care. I'm gonna do what's right. When these motherfuckers attack me, I'm grabbing my rifle. I'm gonna kill as many of the motherfuckers as I can. These are traitors, not just to America, but to the entire human race. They are not a legitimate government. They are nothing but terrorists whose purpose is to destroy our country. And it's not just in America. These people have taken over the whole fucking world. And you're still not doing anything about it. I just saw this music video with lyrics of some country song, this making money off of it. Oh man, if this country still had balls. It's like, yeah, if this country still had balls. You realize it's not like the common criminals, it's not the BLM faggots that are the problem. They're nothing. We could wipe them out ourselves in a weekend. The problem is our satanic fucking government. They've betrayed everything. Everything they do is a lie. They steal from us constantly. They stole everything I had with endless fucking lies. Then they just kept setting more and more traps. And eventually I did step in one, because, I mean, who can avoid being a criminal now, especially when you're being targeted by this corrupt government shit? They're going to criminalize you eventually. They're going to come for everyone. I'm just one of the first. They're going to keep fucking doing this, and you're going to say, I'm crazy. And just like every other time I've been right, they're going to roll it out on everybody. It won't fucking matter if you vote for the Republicans or not. They won't do anything. They don't care. They're in on it. They won't fight. They won't stand up for what's right, ever. They never have. They never will. They're paid off just like the fucking Democrats. Anyway, I'll be dead soon, because this is a nation of morally bankrupt cowards, and no one's going to show up to have my back. They're just going to let them kill me and go along with whatever lies they tell. Oh yeah, he deserved it because of blah blah. Yeah, whatever. You know it's all a fucking lie. You've seen this so many times. You know it's not true. But you're just too much of a coward to fight. This isn't about me, fucking asshole. This is about the whole country going to hell, and you're not doing a damn thing about it. I've been sticking my neck out for too long, and I backed the wrong horse. I backed my fellow countrymen, who turned out to be a bunch of damn cowards, morally bankrupt, letting their kids get their dicks chopped off in school because the teachers are whammons and we can't do anything about that. We can't stop them. This shit's not new. Like, all of a sudden you're having this uprising of being mad at the groomer teachers. Like, this shit's been going on since the 90s. I was in a private Christian school and they were trying to pull this shit. This is how they convinced kids to be gay. I'll explain to you exactly the mechanism that they've used. All the normal awkwardness of growing up, going through puberty and all that stuff, they brainwash kids into thinking that this is not normal and that it's happening to them because they're different. And if you just come out of the closet, then you'll be protected. No one will dare to make fun of you anymore. You'll be a protected class if you just come out of the closet and declare how gay you are. And it works. And it has twofold problem, is that they get rewarded for doing this, so it reinforces in their mind that they're better than everyone else and they're superior. And at the same time, they don't have to go through the struggles of puberty, so they never grow up. They remain obnoxious brats. They're just these shitty children in adult bodies. And they've been doing it for so long, that's the majority now. I mean, finding a normal functioning adult is just damn near impossible. They don't exist. Seeing all these women complaining about the trans athletes invading their sports. Like, you wanted this. You wanted this. Don't fucking complain. You got exactly what you wanted. It's not going to be my problem for very much longer, because I'm going to be dead. You're going to let him kill me. You're going to say, oh, he's just a crazy guy on the internet. Look how many followers he has. I used to have a lot more than this, but my channels got deleted over and over and over again. I had millions and millions of views, but it's all gone now, because I was one of the first that was attacked and nobody gave a shit. No, it's gonna happen again. I'm gonna be dead. The fourth man's dark accusing song had scratched our comfort hard and long. I fucking told you so. And it's not gonna be my problem. You're the one who's gonna have to live in it. Your kids are gonna have to live in it. Because you're too much of a coward to pick up your rifle and do the right thing. Kill the enemies. Kill these traitors. You have to do it. There isn't going to be anything left if you don't. And a lot of you are atheists or don't believe in God or whatever, but it has never been more obvious that we are facing Satan and his minions right now. I ain't gonna lie, I got lost in the wilderness too. Just because I couldn't find him. Where was God? Where was he? And to reach out to things I could find. I never wanted any of it. But I did just because I had to find something. Because God ain't there. I understand why he's abandoned this country. I understand why he's not there. It doesn't make me any less pissed off, though. Killing your own kids while they're still inside you. You really expect God to have your back? Are you nuts? I could leave you with Bible verse references, but it wouldn't do any good. You wouldn't read it. Psalms 139 on down a ways, I think. Verse 18, maybe? I'm off the top of my head. Isaiah 5:8, maybe? On down through the rest of the chapter. You want to see what he does to those who turn their back? This isn't some accident. Anyway, I wanted to get part of my story out there because these motherfuckers are coming for me. I know you won't have my back, just like you never do. These fucking traitors. They don't work for the government. Oh, you're crazy, you hate the government. They're not the government. This isn't legitimate. None of them are. It's all a fucking illusion. None of them are a legitimate government in the United States. These rogue agencies are created and given power just so they can run amok. Because the purpose is that they serve the World Economic Forum. I was going to build this cool solar power system myself. That's what these are for. I'm not going to live that long. I ain't going to be there. These pieces of shit are going to kill me. I was going to show you how you can, for like $20, almost build your own 400-volt solar charge controller and use salvaged electric car batteries to make yourself a system for not a whole lot of money. You don't have to buy magic boxes from the communist corporations. They don't even make anything that'll do it. Just need a handful of parts and half a brain. But none of that's gonna happen now. All I wanted was to be left the fuck alone. I tried like hell just to be left the fuck alone. These pieces of shit would not stop. Anyway. Enjoy the hell that's coming, because I won't be in it. I know nobody's going to show up and have my back.